Chapter 627, Heartless Black Cave, Demonic Shadow. This chapter is updated by novels.pl. There was no panic or shock on Zhang Yuoquan's face. Calmly, he said, "In the end, you still recognized me. Looks like your eyesight isn't too bad. It is good that you know who I am so that you will know who killed you." When Zhang Yuoquan and Yi had fought just now, he had not hidden the hatred in his eyes at all. It was not strange for Yi to have recognized him through his gaze. When he spoke just now, he used his natural voice. Yi huffed coldly. Blood roiled in his body and gave off strands of black holy chi. It surged toward the injury at his throat. Swoosh! The black holy chi flowed around Yi's neck. Immediately, his dented throat bulged out and returned to its original state as if it had never been injured. Generally, one could only condense such thin holy chi when the holy meridian in the body had reached the fourth change of the fish-dragon realm. Other than that, only a saintly being could do it. Whenever a saintly being reached a small success, the blood, bone, and internal organs would all produce holy chi. Different saintly beings would also produce different holy chi. What a powerful heartless saint being to be able to recover perfectly from such a heavy injury in just an instant. Perhaps it is a true immortal body? Zhang Yuoquan said. So what if it is an immortal body? Compared to you, I am still far inferior. Everyone in the world thought you had already died. Who would have thought that you were still alive? Yi laughed. At this moment, there was only Zhang Yuoquan and Yi standing on the expansive summit of the lofty mountain. The other evil cultivators had not yet caught up, so Zhang Yuoquan was not afraid to expose his identity. The corner of Zhang Yuoquan's mouth curled and he also revealed a smile. "I don't believe that you have an immortal body. Let me test which one is stronger, your defensive power or my attack." Swoosh! He moved his finger and directed the power of the heart of the sword. The ancient abyss sword immediately flew out of the spatial ring and dissolved into a black streak of sword chi. In a flash, it had flown to Yi. Although the golden holy sword was also a holy weapon, it could not compare to the ancient abyss sword. The ancient abyss sword had refined large numbers of genuine martial arms and holy weapons. Regardless of its sharpness or its power, it had long reached a different level. Furthermore, with Zhang Yuoquan's cultivation in the third change of the fish-dragon realm, he was able to activate more inscriptions in the sword, giving it even more power. The golden holy sword could not split open the holy soft leather armor's defenses, but it did not mean that the ancient abyss sword could not. It was clear that Yi also knew the power of the ancient abyss sword, as he did not dare to use the holy soft leather armor to meet it head-on. Yi executed a bodily movement to retreat quickly. At the same time, he opened his arms. Strands of black holy chi shot out of his heart and condensed into a 10-meter diameter black cave in front of his body. Heartless Black Cave. The power of the black cave was strange. It swallowed up all of the genuine chi and spiritual chi around it. Even the light around it was absorbed. Every saintly being was able to form a Dharma Laksana upon practicing small success. The Dharma Laksana of Cyan-robed emissary was Cyan Holy Cloud, while Mulink-size Dharma Laksana was Mysterious Ice Phoenix. The stronger the saintly being, the stronger the Dharma Laksana that was formed. Whenever a Dharma Laksana was executed, the saintly being would be able to completely subdue monks in the same realm. Just like how Cyan-robed emissary was able to completely crush the warrior in the ninth change of the fish-dragon realm when he executed his Cyan Holy Cloud Dharma Laksana, even with his seventh change of the fish-dragon realm cultivation. The Dharma Laksana that Yi practiced was Heartless Black Cave. This Dharma Laksana was able to swallow anything in the world, even the Dharma Laksana of other saintly beings. The 10-meter wide black cave hovered right in front of Yi's body and emanated an icy aura. It pulled everything around it toward itself. The ancient abyss sword that had flown out was also pulled in by that power. It appeared as if it would leave Zhang Yuoquan's control and fly into the Heartless Black Cave. Yi's Dharma Laksana is so powerful. Zhang Yuoquan's expression did not change, but he activated the power of space. Stabbing his finger forward, he executed a move called Space Crack, tearing toward the Heartless Black Cave. No matter how strong the Black Cave was, it was, after all, still within space. As long as it was still within space, Zhang Yuochen would be able to use the power of space to break it. So what if it was a saintly being's Dharma Laksana? The power of time and space could break all of the Dharma Laksanas in the world. How could this happen? Space suddenly split open. It was clear that Di Yi had noticed that something was going wrong. Cold sweat broke out on his forehead and he focused all his energy on the Heartless black cave, continuously pouring the genuine chi in his body into it. He could not fail, must not fail. With all of Di Yi's energy, the black cave began to grow a bit larger, expanding to 13 meters. The strength of its pull also became stronger. It exerted a strange force, even warping space itself. A 6-meter-long space crack crashed into the black cave Dharma Laksana, creating energy ripples. The space crack was very powerful. It pressed forward with a swish and tore the black cave Dharma Laksana into halves. Boom! The Dharma Laksana was shattered and Di Yi sustained heavy injuries. He flew backward like a kite with its strings cut. Zhang Yuochen also felt some shock in his heart. When he sent out the space crack, it had slanted a little to the left, meaning the black cave Dharma Laksana was able to warp the power of space. Had Di Yi's cultivation been much higher than Zhang Yuochen's and had reached above the 7th change of the fish-dragon realm, he would have been able to use the Heartless black cave to defeat the space crack first. Of course, that was only conjecture. After all, Zhang Yuochen's current control of the power of space was only at its initial stage. However, Di Yi was even more surprised. The power of the Heartless black cave was extraordinary. It could even swallow the Dharma Laksanas of other saintly beings and was known as an invincible Dharma Laksana. How could it be so easily destroyed by Zhang Yuochen? Swoosh! Zhang Yuochen did not give Di Yi time to think. He immediately concentrated the power of space again and executed space moving, appearing beside Di Yi. Raising his arm quickly, he swung out with the ancient abyss sword and chopped it toward Di Yi's neck. Di Yi did not have time to react, but a streak of black shadow on the ground slashed out quickly with a shadow knife toward Zhang Yuochen's abdomen. Everyone had a shadow, however, the shadow of a normal person could only move with the body. When the body moved, the shadow moved. When the body was still, the shadow was still. This was a very strange sight. Di Yi's body did not move but the shadow on the ground slashed with a knife. What was even more shocking was that it was clearly a shadow but it contained an evil energy. The shadow blade also carried a terrifying power as if it would disembowel Zhang Yuochen. Zhang Yuochen let out a silent cry then immediately turned the edge of his sword to swing toward the shadow on the ground, blocking the shadow blade. The shadow blade appeared very ferocious, but it was shapeless and insubstantial. Zhang Yuochen's sword swung out and slid across the surface of the shadow blade. It created water-like ripples but was unable to stop the shadow blade. Without any hesitation, he leapt and shot upward. Swoosh! The shadow blade sliced across, carrying a powerful gust of wind as it passed beneath Zhang Yuochen's feet. Zhang Yuochen hovered about 10 meters off the ground. Looking down, he stared at the black shadow beside Di Yi's body. The demonic shadow is surprisingly powerful. When I attacked it, it was completely shapeless and without substance, but when it attacked me, it had both shape and substance. The power that it demonstrated was also not any weaker than Di Yi's. Zhang Yuochen's expression finally became serious. Zhang Yuochen could become a first-rate assassin by wearing the shooting star invisible cloak. However, Di Yi's demonic shadow was like an entirely separate assassin, completely able to kill another person silently. The so-called foremost killer in the Blood Cloud sect, Hunter, was a complete joke compared to the demonic shadow. Who could defend against a shadow? Di Yi said. Zhang Yuochen, my demonic shadow is not bad, right? Although the black shadow on the ground was connected to Di Yi's feet, its shape was completely different from Di Yi's. The black shadow still held a shadow blade and appeared particularly ruthless. It gave off a powerful evil energy as if it could rise from the ground at any moment. Zhang Rukohan smiled and said, it is indeed very interesting. The attack of a sword cannot hurt the demonic shadow, but what about a spiritual power attack? Zhang Yuochen used his left hand to lift the purple thunder pearl, activating the heaven and earth spiritual chi. He formed dozens of powerful lightning bolts. Lightning moved quickly through the air and exploded with ear-shattering chi explosions. I had no idea that this spiritual power was so powerful. Di Yi's expression finally changed. Knowing that Zhang Yuochen's cultivation exceeded his by a great deal, Continuing the battle would not be advantageous for him at all. Zhang Yuochen, are you really certain you've won? To tell you the truth, the moment your identity was exposed, you had already lost. Not only will you die, but Red Wish Emissary will also die with you. Zhang Yuochen perfectly understood what Yi meant. As long as I kill you, my identity will not be exposed. Is that so? You are so confident you can kill me? Yi took out a golden imperial edict from his sleeve. Holding it in his hand, he smiled mockingly at Zhang Yuochen. Swoosh! Powerful genuine chi surged out of Yi's palms and entered into the imperial edict, activating the saint power in the imperial edict. The golden light enveloped Yi's body, shooting into the sky. He quickly flew into the distance. Zhang Yuochen watched as Yi escaped in a panic. He only smiled lightly and immediately took out an imperial edict as well, activating the saint power in the imperial edict. He dissolved into a streak of golden light and chased after Yi. Yi and Zhang Yuochen both exploded forth with the speed of a saint. Like two comets flying through the sky, they had both flown tens of thousands of kilometers away in just a few moments. Boom! Yi's feet landed on the ground and created a half-meter deep pit. Before he had time to sigh in relief, a black sword radiance flew down from the sky. Exploding with an ear-splitting cry, the very air was shaken by the sword chi.